Hello, lovely listeners, and welcome back to Tips for the Time-Traveling Courtier, your sassy survival guide to dodging disasters in the muddy, majestic, and occasionally manure-filled world of medieval Europe. I'm your host, Christina, your slightly sarcastic stable master, here to keep you from being kicked by a horse or mocked by a knight for your equestrian blunders. Today we're tackling a topic that's literally a matter of life and limb: horse etiquette. In the Middle Ages, horses weren't just transport. They were status symbols, war machines, and your ticket to looking like you belong at court. Whether you're riding with Elizabeth of York's entourage or trotting through a merchant's caravan, one wrong move could leave you in the dirt, physically or socially. So let's saddle up with tips, tricks, and historical horse havoc to keep you galloping gracefully. Grab your reins, mind your spurs, and let's ride. Horses were the medieval equivalent of a Ferrari. Expensive, prestigious, and temperamental. Mishandling one could ruin your reputation, break your bones, or offend a lord whose steed is worth more than your entire village. From jousts to journeys, here's how to handle horses without catastrophe. Never sneak up on a horse. Approach from the side, speak softly, and avoid sudden moves. A startled horse can kick you into next week. Pat its neck gently to build trust, but don't pet its face unless you want a nip. Use a mounting block or stirrup to swing up smoothly. Flopping onto a horse like a sack of flour screams novice and might spook it. Keep your posture straight. Slouching riders get laughed out of court. Saddles, bridles, and reins aren't just gear, they're your lifeline. Check for worn straps or loose buckles before riding. A broken rein mid-gallop could land you in a ditch, or worse, a lord's bad graces. At court, the best horses belong to the queen, or high nobles. Don't touch, admire too loudly, or, God forbid, try to ride one without permission. Stick to your assigned mount, even if it's a stubborn mule. If you're new to riding, fake confidence but act humble. Say, "My lord, I am but a simple traveler, honored to ride your noble steed." It covers your inexperience and flatters your host. Practice mounting in private to avoid a public tumble. Win a horse's trust with a carrot or an apple, but check with the stable master first. It's a cheap way to calm a skittish mount and look like you know what you're doing. Just don't feed it your lunch bread. Starving courtiers aren't chic. In Shakespeare's Richard III famously shouted, a horse, my kingdom for a horse," at Bosworth Field. Moral? Respect the horse, or lose the crown. Horses were cared for by grooms who knew more about them than you ever will. Keep them on your side to avoid sabotage or stable yard gossip. Grooms control the best horses and tack. Politely request their help, maybe with a small coin or compliment. A grumpy groom might saddle you with a bucking beast. Don't leave muddy boots or dropped reins in the stable. Pitch in with light tasks like brushing your horse. It shows respect and keeps the grooms friendly. Don't critique a noble's horse or a stable setup, even if it's a mess. A careless comment could reach the lord's ears, and nobody likes a know-it-all traveler. Befriend the grooms. They hear court gossip while brushing manes. Offer to hold a bridle or fetch water to eavesdrop on who's riding with whom. It's like medieval social media, but with more hay. Rub a cloth with mint or lavender to wipe down your saddle to mask stable smells. It won't help the horse, but it will make you feel less like you're riding through a tannery. In 1500s France, a courtier insulted a groom's horse care skills, only to find his saddle accidentally loosened before a hunt. He fell into a mud puddle before the queen. Grooms hold grudges, so be nice. It's time for Fashionably Foul, our segment on courtly catastrophes. Today's star, Henry VIII, the walking catastrophe himself. In 1524, Henry's overzealous spur digging during a joust spooked his horse, throwing him into the lists. His pride was bruised worse than his armor, and courtiers whispered about his unsteady seat for weeks. Moral? Spurs are for nudging, not for stabbing. A runner-up is Catherine de' Medici, whose 1560s riding habit was so elaborate it tangled in her stirrups, nearly toppling her during a procession. Her quick recovery saved face, but her tailor was exiled. Keep it simple, folks. This week's Weird Wellness Tip: some medieval riders tucked a horsehair braid into their belt, believing it brought luck and calmed mounts. There's no proof it worked, but it's a great conversation starter with superstitious knights. Just don't pluck it from the queen's prized mare. Riders believed brushing horses under a full moon made them docile. Try it for bonding, but don't expect miracles. Most horses care more about the oats than the lunar cycles. Let's dive into real courtier confessions where we spill the straw on equine triumphs and tragedies. In 1490s England, a knight fell off his horse during a parade for Elizabeth of York, blaming a slippery saddle. A page in Catherine of Aragon's court won favor by calming her skittish mare with a whispered song, earning a gold coin and a stable job. A 14th century monk was caught riding the abbot's horse without permission, claiming it was for divine contemplation. He mucked stalls for a month. A 1500s trader tried to impress a noble boy by mounting a war horse, only to be bucked into a fountain. His trade deal drowned with his dignity. Time for our listener questions, where we tackle your equine etiquette dilemmas. Today's comes from Trotting Thomas. Dear time-traveling courtier, I'm headed to 15th century Ghent at the Duke of Burgundy's court, and I'm terrified of mishandling a horse. How do I ride without looking like a fool or getting kicked? Oh, Thomas, you're about to gallop through Ghent like a Burgundian boss. Here's your guide to equine elegance. Walk toward a horse's side, not its rear, and speak softly to avoid a kick. Offer a carrot with permission to make friends. Pat its neck, not its face, unless you want teeth marks. Use a mounting block and swing up smoothly, keeping your weight balanced. Hold the reins lightly but firmly. Jerking them annoys the horse and the Duke's stable master. Wear a fitted doublet with snug hose to avoid snagging tack. A short cloak adds flair, but it won't tangle in the stirrups. Avoid flashy spurs unless you're a knight. Tip the grooms with a coin or a kind word for the best horse. Help brush your mount post-ride to stay on their good side. A happy groom means a happy horse. If you're a novice, ride slowly and mimic the Duke's posture. Back straight, rein steady. Claim you're practicing humility if you wobble. Confidence covers a multitude of sins. Thomas, with these tricks, you'll ride through Ghent's court without a hoof to the head or a snicker from the knights. Keep your reins tight, your manners tighter, and your ego in check. Here's your starter pack for equine success. A carrot or apple for horse bribes. A sturdy pair of gloves for gripping reins. A mint-scented cloth for saddle freshness. A humble smile for grooms and nobles. A sharp eye to avoid horse kicks and court gossip. Thanks for tuning in to Tips for the Time-Traveling Courtier. Until next time, keep your reins steady, your spurs gentle, your grooms happy, and your chamber pot bombs far, far away. Stay gallant, and may Saint Eligius, patron of horses, guide your equestrian travels.